Okay, I am thrilled to welcome in, let's have a nice round of applause for the 2018 Girls Volleyball from Long Beach High School State Champions! Let's give it up for them! And I had to do it in your guys' honor. We have a little cake to celebrate your championship.
They love cake.
Let's go, let's look at the cake. Come on, girls, let's take a look at the cake.
They love cake.
Let's take a look at the cake.
Oh, wow.
There it says, congratulations, LBHS Girls Volleyball State Champions 2018.
That's so nice. Thank you.
So, you girls love cake?
Yeah.
You think it's well deserved?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So we're gonna enjoy some cake later in the show. All right?
Yay.
All right, Carrie. So,
I'm so excited.
all right. So you girls love cake. So that cake is going to be devoured, huh?
And who provided that cake?
By the way, that I always believe in buying local. We got the cake from Country Boy Bakery right here in Long Beach, and I said I want a nice big special cake. But Carrie, I'm going to start with you. This truly was historical. You know, when in the past, by the way, my idea is to make this an annual event. So every year you guys can come on and talk about the 1-year anniversary and then the 2-year anniversary. Because you guys all know Carmine Verdi, right? Yeah. Well, every year we have Carmine in the state championship softball team on. And you know what? It never gets old talking about the championship. And I think what you guys are going to have is a bond that's going to last a lifetime. Because not only are you state champions, but you're the first team in the history of Long Beach to do it, 18-0. You're going to have an incredible bond that's going to last a lifetime. And whether it's next year or 2 years or 5 years, we're always going to celebrate your incredible accomplishment.
I like to hear that.
All right.
But ask the three at the end if we could do it again next year.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Maybe win next year.
All right. Well, since Carrie brought it up, Carrie, how about a repeat?
That's why I want to ask those three.
All right, so let's introduce all the girls. Why don't you introduce yourselves and tell what year you're in, and give it like a little thought of. We used to have a singer on the show, and he used to sing a song, "This Is the Moment." When Grace Rosenberg, when you had that winning point, I'm going to start with you.
Okay.
When you had that winning point, talk about that moment, realizing we just won the state championship. Talk about that moment.
Okay. Should I
Sure.
tweet
Yeah.
Well, when I looked at the line judge and she said it was in, I smiled and I hit the floor and I was in a ball on the floor. And then once I got up off the floor, I looked at them and everyone on the court, and then we brought it in and I realized that we did it, and then I looked at her. She was still on the floor too. Yeah. I wasn't the only one. And it was surreal. It was an unforgettable feeling.
That is so awesome. And we have Emma McGovern here too.
Yes.
Emma, by the way, I have a bone to pick with Newsday, and I'm going to get your thoughts on this in a second. But Emma, it said in Newsday you had 30 kills.
Yes.
So it sounds like you were an unstoppable machine. Talk about just being in a zone, 30 kills, and being on fire.
I just thought it was really important for me to make sure I was executing the ball, because me and Grace had talked about it in Ren, obviously, that I was going to be getting a lot of the sets, so I knew it was important for me to do my job. I had to execute the ball, so it was just every time Grace fed me, I was like, let's finish this point, make this go by faster so we don't have to work as hard, and it was just really awesome experience to be able to do that, and it was awesome.
That's great. And Emma, what year are you?
I'm a senior.
So you're done. So
Yeah.
you went out a champion.
Yep.
All right. Grace, you're.
I'm a senior too.
All right, so you're done. Now you three are going to be back, right? So let's have you guys introduce yourselves, and let's talk about a repeat.
Hello, I'm Tori Price.
And are we going to have a repeat?
Yes, sir.
All right.
I'm Glenn Price.
We're twins.
Yeah.
Twins, also.
Yeah.
So you juniors?
No, sophomore.
Sophomores, great. 3 more years. Okay, 2 more after.
I'm Julia Myers, and I'm also a sophomore.
So. And Julia, I'm very good friends with your dad, Pete, and let's give a shout out to the Polar Bears. Your dad along with Kevin McCarthy, have raised over $1 million for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. So I'm sure you're very proud of your dad, right?
Of course, yeah.
All right, great. So, by the way, you guys are twins?
Yeah.
We see that young man sitting there, Brandon. He's not a twin. He's part of triplets.
Oh, we're triplets.
We're practically triplets.
Oh, okay.
We call them.
You call them the triplets. So,
We're really triplets too.
so all right. I want to ask the twins. I want to get to the twins. You just won the championship. You tasted it. There's going to be a bullseye on your back. Talk about repeating next year and setting a standard of greatness for Long Beach volleyball.
Well, we're gonna have to really try hard next year. And yeah. Yeah, we're just gonna have to try our hardest, but it's possible.
All right. And Julia, your dad was posting about it, and I know you have a big family. So, what was it like in the Myers household when you brought home a state championship?
They were all there.
Yeah, it was crazy, I guess. Everyone was just kind of talking about it and made me feel special, but yeah, it was just amazing.
All right, excellent. Now, Carrie, I read that you had a slogan earlier in the year, "Why not us?" How did that come about? And from a coach's perspective, when did you realize in the season that this team could be really special and win a county championship at Long Island or even state? When did you realize this team is really special?
I think I realized right at the onset of tryouts how good we were going to be this season. I'm not sure that I really thought we were going to be state champs, but our goal was to win that Long Island match, and I knew that once we got up there, anything was really possible. But I had an idea during our tryout week that we had something special. We had like chemistry, even yes, with the upperclassmen that have been on the team for years, but with the addition of these 3 young ladies right here and some other new blood on the team, they really gelled. These seniors here really kind of put these girls under their wing and showed them the right way to play the game and the right way to conduct themselves both on and off the court. And I knew that magic was going to take us pretty far this year.
That is so awesome. Well, let's tell the story in order. Let's first talk about winning the counties. Let's talk about who you beat in the semifinals and then the finals, and then we'll work up to the Long Island champion of the state. So let's go back to the county championship and who you had to beat to get to Long Island.
So in the county finals, we played Plainview, and that was a big match for us because even though we beat them in the regular season, both times we played them in 3 sets. They were coming in with a lot of momentum because they had just beaten Massapequa, and that was the first time that's happened in a really long time. So we knew they were coming in with momentum and fire, but we knew that if we came out strong and we were fighting our game and playing our regular game, we would be okay. And we ended up, fortunately, winning that game in 3 sets, which was really big. And in the 3rd set, we really made a statement with the score being 25-3, so it was huge for us.
Wow. So you didn't just beat them in the final, you dominated them. Grace, how much confidence did that give you going into the Long Island Championship, the fact that you kind of really dominated Plainview? How confident, let's talk about the Long Island Championship.
Well, we knew that Plainview was probably going to be an easier game than Comac was going to be. So we definitely had confidence, but we knew that it was going to be tougher than counties. And I think after the Plainview game, we figured out that if we play like a fast-paced game and we play our speed, that Comac won't be able to keep up. So going into Long Island, we knew that if we put it all out there and left it on the court, that we would win.
Wow, that's great. Now, you do something about your opponents in, the county in Long Island. But what was the thought going upstate? Did you know anything about the teams upstate, and what was the mindset going up to dealing with the state championship?
So I'm like a research kind of guru, and I knew everything about those teams.
Wow, that's great. That's great preparation.
I was fortunate enough to have another coach, Bill Gibson, the boys varsity head coach, who assisted me, and we found lots of film on those teams. We were able to kind of scout them before we even got there, and we were prepared. I'm not so sure that they were able to do the same for us. Unfortunately for them, we weren't on the internet the way that they were, but we were prepared for those teams up there. And sometime during that week between the Long Island game and the state tournament, I really looked at these other teams we were playing, and I realized that we were better, if not just as good as those teams. And I had to convince the girls that we were gonna go up there to win.
That's awesome. How confident were you heading upstate that you could take home the state championship, bring it back to Long Beach?
Well, after Long Island, after beating Comac, who are an incredible team, I'd say that they were probably the toughest team we played all season, including teams we played in state. Going up there, I knew that, like Red said, we had to change our mindset from just being happy to going up there, that we could definitely win it. So it was making sure we had that competitive mindset, and then going up there, like Grace said, even going into Long Island, we had to have that same mindset that we could win if we played our game and we played that fast pace, because teams upstate hadn't seen a team play at such a high speed. So we knew if we were going to there, we're playing our game, we'd be okay.
That's great. Grace, what was your feeling going upstate? Were you confident that you could win the state championship heading up to the States?
After I watched film, I kind of felt like looking at the teams, like every single team had one or two really strong players, but we were so fortunate to have three really strong players and other players that are like also pretty good and like can get the job done. So I think the fact that we had confidence in each other helped a lot. I remember the first day, like the first few points, I knew that we could do it because the first team was pretty tough, and we were playing well, so I knew that it would happen.
Okay. Let's get the Twins' perspective. What was your feeling as you headed upstate?
I was pretty excited because it was my first year on varsity and I didn't expect it to happen.
Okay. Thank you. How about Gwen, what do you think?
Once we won LICs, like anything was possible. So like we got up there and the first day we beat Victor in a set and like I kind of just knew.
I also was very excited, but with like my family by my side, I knew that like we could do it, because they all like we've been together for so long. So like with all the practice and everything, like I felt like we could do it definitely.
Now, how did it feel to get that state championship? Because you really are a part of a special school sports-wise. We all know what Corey Teamer did the last 5 years, becoming the first wrestler in the history of Long Island to win 5 state championships. The boys and girls swimming teams have been incredible with all county and all state swimmers. The softball team has won a state championship. So what was it like to say, you know what, our volleyball team now belongs with the greatness of so many Long Beach great teams of other sports?
Honestly, I think it was incredible to be able to make history and leave such a legacy, because I knew we had a really special team coming into the season, and throughout the season I just felt that we could really make some history, so I was really happy to be able to do it. I'm just so proud of every single person on that team, so yeah, it was really great.
I kind of feel like the sports teams at Long Beach High School are definitely support each other a lot. Like for example, the day we left, we had the cheerleading squad come into the cafeteria for us, and then when we left, we had the band, which isn't a team, but it's a team of its own, in the commons, and then just like a bunch of other people that go to our school. And it was just really great to have support. Like we especially get support from the boys team. Like they were there by our side for the whole entire season. So I'd like to thank them for that.
Yeah.
All right, so, and how does it feel to make history? The first girls volleyball team to win a state championship. How does it feel to make history?
Honestly, it hasn't really sunk in yet. Like, it doesn't really feel real to me. Like, I still have to think about the fact that, like, we won states and everything. Like, walking in the halls and, like, having all the support from the community and everything. It's just completely unreal. Like, it still hasn't sunk in for me.
Okay, speaking of making history, I want to bring up a special person who made history herself. She became the first African-American woman in Long Beach history to become the first member on the Long Beach City Council. And she's so thrilled with your accomplishment, she's here today. So let's bring up Anissa Moore, the Long Beach City Council.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So tonight's a night of history. Anissa's a good friend, and she bleeds Long Beach through and through. And Anissa, let's get your thoughts on the history-making Long Beach girls women's volleyball, the first girls volleyball team in history to win a state championship at Long Beach.
Well, first, thank you so much, Howie, for inviting me today, and I'm thrilled. One, because, again, this was a perfect season. This was a perfect season. It was perfect in every way. It's perfect because you were able to do something that many people are not able to do, and that is, with your tenacity and your determination, you were able to go against all odds, not only just winning on the Long Island for a Long Island championship, but then taking it to state, and then bringing it back home. And so it means to us that girls can be leaders, that girls can not only lead but also achieve and dream big dreams and fight really hard, and win. And it shows the strength of all of these young ladies, but also they're not only athletes, they're students, they're scholars, they're leaders. And so, again, this in many ways encourages all of the other younger girls who are still not really there yet, but watching all of you play. It's inspiring them. It's telling them that they can do it too. It's also telling young girls who were reading about you, watching it on Newsday and all the other media, that they can do it too. Because sometimes we feel that, oh, maybe I'm not good enough. But the fact that you won, it's saying that you can do it. It's saying that we can do it. It's saying that girls can lead and girls are strong and that girls can be determined. And you did that. You were able to overcome obstacles. And that's why this is not only just a feel-good story, but it's an inspiring story. All of you have inspired so many other people. And so I'm happy and I'm proud to be just a resident of the city of Long Beach to say, yes, they did it. You represent Long Beach well. You're amazing. We're grateful for all of the leadership in terms of your coaches, all of those people who inspired you to be where you are, your parents. You make all of us proud. And that's what this is about. Long Beach is a great place to live, but it also tells us a great place to dream big, and that dreams can come true. And so I was a first in a different way, but it's all about girls having the opportunity to be the first, to step up. And all of you did that. You stepped up. And we're just so extremely proud. And again, I was unable to be in Glens Falls, but I was watching through media and just like, yeah, like, yes. And that's what it's about. It's you won for all of us. And we know that there's been so much going on across the country in terms of our young people across the country who are in school and some of the challenges that they face. And here we are, we have a group of young women who were able to just step out and do something big and make us believe again that, again, all things are possible. And so, again, on behalf of the City Council, we're thrilled, we're so proud of you, but also just as an everyday resident, all of us here, we were cheering you on. And to see you get to that last step, it was just really inspiring. You make us all proud.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So well spoken. And Anissa, in honor of the girls' accomplishment, we bought a beautiful cake, and I'd like for you to join us. And I think right after this segment, I think we should eat the cake and enjoy it, don't you think?
Yes.
But I would like to take this moment to vent a little. Can I vent a little? There's something that I saw today involving you guys that annoyed me to no end.
I didn't send this to you today.
Can I tell you what
Yeah, I
annoyed me to no
saw
end?
it. I usually send these things,
But
I didn't send it to you today.
it was Newsday had the top 10 fall teams. Long Beach was rated 9th. To me, that's a disgrace. Think about it. Think about who was rated number 1. And I'm a guy, and I want to say this. It's disgusting the chauvinist world we live in.
That's right.
Number 1 was the Garden City football team. Hello? They had 12 wins. You guys had 18 wins. They were Long Island champions. You were state champions. You were the champions of the entire state. They were champions of Long Island. You had 2/3 more victories than them. 18-0. They were 12-0. You deserved not number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, number 9. You should have been number 1. You had more more wins than everybody else. You were state champions, and hardly anyone reached that level. So Newsday, you blew it. Long Beach deserved to be not number 9, 8, number 1. And to put a football team who won 12 games, who didn't win a state champion, and they had 18 wins to your 12, they were state champions to your Long Island champions. I will say this to Newsday, shame on you. Carrie, could I say it any better? And do you agree?
I'm going to just go and say no comment.
All right. Would you like to comment on my... I think I nailed it. Do you think I nailed it?
I appreciate your passion and expressing how you feel.
You really spoke with your
Yeah,
dad for
yeah.
everything.
All right.
Pretty loud.
All right. Yeah, it just... I woke up this morning and I almost spilled my coffee. I was so aggravated. And it was. But I had a vent, and I appreciate you girls letting me vent. So.
Thank you.
Yeah, but
Anytime.
one thing I did with the softball team, I'd like to do with you guys. Do you guys have a chant that you did during the season?
Beach on 3, what do you want?
Yeah, it was just a basic beach on 3.
Nothing elaborate.
Nothing elaborate.
We had dance circles.
All right.
Yeah, but
None of us did.
Yeah, no,
It was just Lexi and Riley.
Yeah.
All right, but so I imagine this too. That Carrie, I imagine that it was a very close-knit team. That the girls were very tight. That they supported each other. They were good friends. And I got to imagine that the chemistry on the team was incredible.
Yeah, I think that the chemistry on this team was one of the things that propelled us really to get as far as we did. Sometimes coaching girls can be a bit tricky. There's some cattiness that goes on at times, but really never experienced it with this team this year. And if it was going on, the upperclassmen and the captains were really able to, control it. And like I said, set an example for the younger kids and show them the right way to play. And I hope that these younger girls down at the end over there will carry that on next year and in the years to come.
The other thing I got to say is that, it was back in 2010. I want to tell you guys a little story that for years before that, I did a high school sports show. And I stopped after about a 15-year career in 2005. And around 2010, I decided to do a community show. And I could have picked any town in Long Island. And the town I picked was Long Beach. And one of the main reasons I did was because, and I still have this to this day, I was a very close friendship with Ray Adams and Miguel Rodriguez. And what impressed me about them is they had a special bond with their wrestlers. And they would tell me over and over again that Long Beach is such a special place, that the school is special, the community is special, and here we have the daughter of my good friend Pete Myers. I mean, look what Long Beach does. I mean, the polar bears. We celebrated Veterans Day the other day, and Lola's is giving out free dinners to veterans, and the polar bears has raised millions of dollars for Make-A-Wish Foundation. Michelle O'Neill raises so much money for cancer. You got the Waterfront Warriors. You got the students, Surf for All. There's no other community in Long Island that does more than Long Beach. This is truly a special place. And I've always felt that the school, it's such a special place, and I gotta believe that it's extra special to win it in Long Beach. It's such a tight community.
It is, yeah. I grew up here. I actually played softball for Carmine Verde.
Okay.
And so for me to be able to coach here and be able to connect with my athletes the way that I do is very special for me. And this past weekend was very emotional for me on so many levels. But to know that these girls were able to accomplish something that nobody else accomplished really is an amazing feat.
Yeah, I mean, as a senior, I can't think of a better way to go out. I mean, do you guys have a school next year you're gonna be going to?
I'm not sure yet. I'm not committed, but I am looking to play volleyball. So.
Okay.
I'll be playing volleyball at Seton Hall University.
Okay.
Any chance you can recruit Emma?
I don't know, you gotta pray to grace. Yeah.
We have 8 kids coming in with me. But you can come to the camp.
Yeah.
It's in the spring.
All right.
Once it's good.
But, and the other thing too, I love asking this question. Tell me about the bus ride coming home. That had to be insane. I want to know the bus ride coming home, because you had just accomplished something so special. You're state champions. Keep it clean, right, Karen?
They wanted to watch High School Musical.
I was.
Talk about the bus ride coming home. That had to be an amazing bus ride.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing, but it was like a roller coaster of emotions. Because like initially when we got on the bus, obviously we were so excited, full of adrenaline, everything, and then it came to a point where we were all kind of exhausted and starving, really want food. And then it came to a point like after we got food and like we're almost home, like all of us just being like so overjoyed, like super excited to see our families and everything. And then like we all cracked and it became like very hectic and like there was music and like screaming and everything. But yeah, it was really fun.
I think that at one point we were just all so tired that like nothing mattered anymore. Like the quietest girl on the team, I think, was making like goose noises.
Yeah.
And then Kathleen and Lexi were like fake fighting.
Yeah.
And then like
They got
Riley
slap happy.
and Charlotte were like having a game competition on their phones, and then I was like sleeping and like just everything was going on.
Yeah.
Anything you could possibly think of was going on.
You want to elaborate on the fun bus ride home?
I think she got it.
Yeah, it's,
Julie, you want to elaborate on the bus ride coming home?
No, it's just crazy. I did.
All right, so, and let's pass it over to Anissa. Anissa, I gotta believe some proclamations are in order for these girls and some special awards at the city council. Let's pass this down to Anissa.
Well, absolutely. During our last city council meeting, which was held on Tuesday, our President Anthony Aramo, he announced the championship and how we were just, all of us, on behalf of the council, we were just thrilled to find the information that you guys had won, but also that we are planning something special, not just proclamations. There's been some conversation about putting some kind of parade together, because we believe, regardless of what Newsday has said, you are still number one in our hearts. And so we're definitely going to do something special for this team, because this is, again, these are history makers, and we want to celebrate.
I think now we should take a little break, and I think we should get some video of the girls eating their championship cake. What do you think? Is that a great idea? You guys are in the mood for some championship cake?
Oh yeah.
All right.